Welcome back. It's important to have motorists that are skilled and knowledgeable and less likely to contribute to accidents on the roads. That's the aim of author Mbali Mavundla's new book for children, Kids on the Roads. The book gives young readers basic knowledge of the rules of the road signs and the different career paths in the automotive industry. It's for pupils in grade R to 7, but it can even be used for high school learners. For more on this, let's speak now to author Mbali Mavundla, who has joined us in studio. Mbali, welcome. Thanks very much for coming in.
Good evening, Andy. Thank you so much for having me.
Excellent. Now, a lot of people would think that grade R to grade 7, it's a very long time before those kids are actually going to be drivers. So why is it important for them to understand the rules of the road, not just as pedestrians? I mean, we know that rules of the road are important for pedestrians to understand what cars are likely to do, but it goes a lot wider than that, doesn't it?
Yeah. I think because kids are already exposed to the roads, at a very young age, they're either dropped off by parents at schools, they're taking some sort of mode of transport to school. So this book, is a handy guide for them to not just sit there behind, daddy and mommy, for them to know what's going on. I think this is a great introduction because they spend most of the time on the roads anyways.
Talk to us before we get to more of the in-depth content of the book about the kind of benefits that this book will have specifically for pedestrians, because I know a lot of our kids, especially young kids, walk to school and they don't know, for instance, how traffic lights work, especially if it's a big traffic light with lots of turnings. They don't know how to predict when is the right time to walk. And let's be honest, a lot of people don't listen to that little green man.
True. This book is just meant to sort of like assist what teachers are already doing in schools, because as I understand, there is a section under life orientation, I think, for most schools where they focus on road safety. So bringing this information to them, in schools would make sure that, when they're on the road, they are aware, they are attentive. Because, I mean, grade R is not really that young. If they have to cross the street, what sign is that? If you take it down to their level and numb it down and summarize it into a way that they can understand, it's much easier for them. And I think kids are pretty excited about the road. And if they approach the road, with not only just excitement, but with knowledge, then it makes it easier. It makes the roads safer for them to interact on as well.
Obviously, travel is kind of a language in itself. If you're going to be a driver one day, whether it's in your personal capacity or in some kind of professional capacity, and we have a lot of jobs in South Africa that require good driving skills, obviously it's better the younger you start learning about that. So tell us how this book is different from approaches that are already being followed in, like you say, life orientation.
First of all, there is no guide currently, so maybe they just might make the teachers might be making references to the K53 itself, but as for this book, as for the K53 Junior, there isn't work that has been done up to this level. What I did is actually take all the information that I think kids need at that age, even though there is there's two parts to the book, the very junior level and the advanced level. The advanced level covers from grade 5 up to grade 7, but for your grade 1s, they would learn just the road signs, the road rules, what are they supposed to do before they cross the road? What are they supposed to do when they get into a car? What are they supposed to do when they see a certain sign to say, oh, okay, when I see that sign, then I know dad is doing the right thing or mommy is doing the wrong thing.
So they're going to hold their parents accountable. Which is great. And you've also got a section I saw earlier about cars of the future, for instance, Tesla and Elon Musk.
That's very interesting, actually. I picked Elon Musk because he's South African. So it was very important for me to show kids in South Africa that there are people who are from the places that they're from, who are doing things that they haven't even imagined yet. So to look at Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla, who's trailblazer in his field, doing amazing things, lets them think that, one day, because he's from the same place that I'm from, I can also do that.
The ownership is a very interesting concept in South Africa, because
Yes.
we're gradually moving to a place where more and more South Africans who come from a place of poverty are now in a position to own motor vehicles.
Yes.
Not having done that before, you know, families, young kids might not be aware of the kinds of responsibilities placed on a vehicle owner in terms of its maintenance. Do you cover any of that, roadworthy, that kind of thing?
No, not on this level.
That's the next book.
Maybe on the more advanced level, yes, but on this level, no. It's just basic introduction. But what's interesting is that I've also included some careers in the automotive industry that they can pursue, because I want them to understand that it's more than just about the car. You know, you can specialize. You can be an electrician, you know, specializing in cars only. You can, you know, specialize in manufacturing tires. You know, there's so many things that they can do. It's not just about the car alone, but there's a whole other world out there that I think is very interesting for kids, especially with the introduction of virtual reality. You know, I think virtual reality is making education much more interesting, because once, you know, they put those goggles on and they try to see what driving is really about, it's a totally different experience.
We still face a lot of challenges in the public transport sector in South Africa.
Yes.
We hear so often, and it's so heartbreaking, about serious crashes involving taxis transporting learners to school.
Yes.
And in those instances, not in every instance, but in so many of them, roadworthiness is a problem, or, you know, driver concentration, control of the vehicle, being unlicensed for the vehicle. Do you foresee a situation where children are being put in a position of power to say, hang on, the vehicle I'm about to get into is not safe because A, B, or C, or the driver is not following the rules of the road because of this and this, and to be in a position to then empower themselves to be safer?
Yeah. I think the main thing, you know, I've dropped a couple of lines here just for inspirational purposes, but one of my best lines is that knowledge itself is power. So the more they know, the better, right? And that's what I think. If you equip them with the knowledge that, you know, when you're on the road, this is the way to act, these are the things that you're not supposed to do. When you're in a car, these are the things that you're supposed to do, and these are the things that you're not supposed to do. It puts them in a position to be able to speak up and say, no, you're not doing the right thing, Mom. You're not doing the right thing, Dad. So yes, I think so. It's a matter of giving them the tools and not really thinking for them that, oh, I don't think they can understand, but give them the tools, give them the knowledge, and then let them make the choices, because they're humans. They're just as smart.
Do you address passenger safety? Because that's a big thing for kids. They're often in the back seat and you know, it's always up to parents to go, put your seatbelt on, or stop jumping around, or don't bite your sister. But I mean, engaging them in the passenger safety element.
There is a section on, you know, behaviors in the car. Like, you're not supposed to litter outside the window because you just might hit the car that's behind you. No feet on the dashboard. Don't disturb the driver. Such things, because, you know, they need to know that, that information as well.
I'm sure parents will be absolutely thrilled that you're helping them make the journey safer as well. Thank you very much, Mbali. Tell us, before we let you go, where can parents, teachers, children find your book?
The book is available on Paystack. There is an online link on my Facebook, but also there is a page called Kids on the Road. People can go straight there, and the link is on the page. I've partnered with a bookshop in Melville. It's called Book Circle Capital. The book is available there, and the book is retailing for 250. Can I please just add, you know, this one more thing?
Absolutely.
When I was launching the book, actually, I found a really interesting place here in Randburg that is under the Johannesburg Metropolis Department. It's called the Junior Traffic Center. It's got tiny robots, tiny roads, tiny gas station. And sadly, I couldn't get access to the place. But I think it's places like, so you can see that the idea has been there, you know, but I think, you know, the department of the government has failed maybe to, you know, take it through because the grass was overgrown. But if we just take the lesson and then add the practicality into it, it makes things so much easier. And I think that center could thrive. We could open an academy, put tiny cars there, and
absolutely,
make
because
our roads
children
much
learn
safer.
through play, right? So, so they need to see something's coming straight at me.
Yes.
And experience
Yes.
that kind of...
For me, it's really about, you know, the practicality of it all. We're busy with my partner. We're busy building like a toy car with pedals, a steering wheel, just to put in schools so that they're not only just hearing this information, they do get that little experience of what it's like to be actually inside a car.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for coming in. Such an excellent initiative. Kids on the Road. It's available. You said there's a Facebook page called Kids on the Road?
Yes. The book is available on Paystack. The link is up on my Facebook.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. That was Mbali Mavundla, author of Kids on the Road, such an essential tool for parents and teachers.